Good morning, everybody. It's really early. I decided to get up early this morning and create a video because I've got a full day of work. I know I repeat myself. I can't help myself. Not only that, but I realized I have an addiction. Do I have an addictive personality? Not really. Unless I find something that I really, really love, then that's hard. Like when I binge watched the Twilight series for a solid month. And when Beanie Babies came out, whenever my husband and I got into an argument, I would be like, well, you can make it up to me. Go get me a $5 Beanie Baby. Hence the angel bear Beanie Baby in the background. Oh my gosh, my dog is going to bug me. He's at my feet barking. Hold on a sec. Come here. I don't know how in the world I'm going to be able to put makeup on with my dog in my lap, but you know what? This dog, his name is Teddy. From Teddy Bear. He looked like a tiny little itty bitty teddy bear when we first saw him. We didn't own him at that time. And my husband wanted him. He was very, very little. He was taken from the litter very young because it was an abusive situation. And the owner swiped him up and just took him. I mean, dogs, puppies, they were running rampant everywhere. And my husband said that he's like, I'll take him off your hands because of the way that the dog reacted towards my husband. And the owner said, no, he's not going anywhere. Well, 9 months down the road, my groomer told me that because we had another one from the same kind of deal, different circumstance. And she said, I have the perfect dog for you because we were grieving the loss of our black lab, Lacey. And Tate, our older dog, older than this guy by a couple of years, was really lonely. And he had a lot of problems. He had seizures, but we rescued him. And so she gives me the number, and I call the number, and I'm like, wait, I know you. What's up with this? And they were like, well, we've got too many dogs that we've taken in, and we really need to part with one of the dogs. And I'm like, yeah, and my husband wanted him when he was a puppy. But he wasn't neutered, and so we took him. I went and picked him up. I brought him home, and he ran. Now, this is the truth. When I took him off the leash in the side door, he ran from the kitchen down the hallway. You could see where my husband would sit in the living room. It was quite a distance. And he ran and jumped up on my husband. And I was like, you're not going to believe who this is. And so we took him in. And he has been a teddy bear ever since. This dog will sit in your lap till the cows come home. Right, Teddy? Right, Teddy? Look. Teddy, right here. Teddy. Right here. Look at the camera. You're such a cute boy. Do you love Mama? Do you love Mama? He likes, if we sit out on the porch, he wants to sit in our laps. He's 12 now, but we got him at 9 months old, and he has some problems. But we're just taking advantage of every day that we have with him. Yeah, he's a really baby dog. Both of our dogs are, all three of them when we had them. And look at him. He wants to sleep. Teddy, I'm not going to be able to put makeup on with you in my lap. I got to put you down, baby. I know. Here, let me put you down. Go ahead. So, I've already put on, my eye makeup is all done. My eyebrows are all done. I spot treated some of my spots. And I'm just going to use the IRL filter Makeup Revolution in F10, which is a medium neutral. I'm just going to put this on my face because I wanted to tell you guys the story that got accidentally deleted from my video yesterday. I was so bummed out when I saw that, but it was wicked late at night. It was 1 o'clock. Well, it was this morning. It was 1 o'clock this morning. I had kind of dozed in my chair, and when I woke up, I was like, oh, shoot, I uploaded this video. I've got to check it out. And when I watched it, I was like, you got to be kidding me. The second story didn't show up. And if you are watching right now, don't shut me off. Take a few seconds to listen to the story. So, this is what happened for the second story. My husband and I, since we had such a great time up in the White Mountains, we decided that we wanted to take the kids up there. And, excuse me, I got to clean my palette off. We decided that we wanted to take the kids up there. all of them. Except my stepson couldn't be with us. And it was 4th of July weekend. And we were thinking, no, we weren't. We were thinking how great it would be for those 3 days to take the kids up to the White Mountains, way up, stay in a motel, and just kind of do all of the fun things that we have done, that my husband and I did when we went up there alone. And so, we're 2 years into being married now. My youngest son is 2. So I believe I had a 13-year-old, an 11-year-old, and a 9-year-old. And so I had a Dodge Caravan. We packed everybody in, minus my stepson, which was really sad because we wanted to take him. And this is one of 2 crazy trips that we had up there with the kids, which we ended up not doing anymore. But this time, my stepson was not with us. And so we had packed a cooler. We decided that, young family, lots of kids, have to pay for a hotel. We're not the Trump family. And I'm not hating on the Trumps. But we worked hard and we saved. My husband would do extra jobs to save the money. And so we went up to the White Mountains. We head up there. We've got everything we could possibly need to stay in this motel for 3 days and have fun. But we never made reservations because we were like, well, the last time we were up here, there were tons of vacancies. So we'll just wing it and we'll just see what happens. We'll be spontaneous. That's what makes it more fun. And we'll look at some places when we get up there. And I feel like my husband and I were like Chevy Chase in Christmas Vacation. Or Chevy Chase actually in one of his trips. What is it? Chevy Chase Goes to Paris? Anyhow, we're driving up there. And, if you've got a carload of kids, different ages, the baby's crying, the older sibling was like, she's kind of like, oh my God, I want out of this vehicle. And then the two younger ones, they're talking and they're arguing about who's right about what and who remembers what. And anyway, we get up there. And we had enough. We packed our breakfast and our lunches. And we figured we'd, go out to like fast food at night, because feeding 6 people, that's a lot. So we get on the strip. It's a strip up in the White Mountains where all the activities take place. There's like mini golf, there's like water slides, there's like, and that's what we were there, that's where we were figuring we were going to go with the kids, because there was so much activity. You could literally walk to these places, and there were no vacancies anywhere. And if you were a person walking up and down the street, you'd see this tan Dodge Caravan going, meh, and then, meh, about 20 times looking for a vacancy. And it got to the point where every time we would pass by the same people, the kids would wave out the window. It was hilarious. So, and my husband would go up, he'd pull into a gas station and turn around and go back, and it was bumper to bumper traffic. And there were a few WTFs thrown from him, let me tell you. I'm like, shh, there's children in the car. There's children in the car. Anyway, we pull out. I mean, it would get hairy sometimes. He'd pull out and back we'd go, nyeh. And so finally he was like, okay, this is BS. We've got to get out of here. We're just going to have to travel back here to go see whatever. And then we had some nature sites we wanted to see. So we stumbled upon this hotel. And this hotel was red. It was kind of like a red colonial from the front, but in the back it extended. And when you pulled in and we saw the vacancy, we could tell that there was like a cool pool in the back with a slide. And so my husband's like, this is the first vacancy we found. I'm going to go in. I'm going to ask how much it costs, because we didn't prepay. And he comes out and he's like, it's only $32 a night. We can do this. And they're going to give us a cot for one of the kids. And between the 2 beds in there, we'll all be able to sleep and we'll all be able to have a great time. Go in, and I'm looking around. How old is this furniture? Like, we're not talking antiques. We're talking really old, beat-up furniture. And I looked at the bed. I went over to the headboard, and it was like, And I sat down on the bed, and it was like the springs just went, wow. And I'm thinking to myself, and then I look at the bedding, and I'm like, the bedding looked like it came from the 1950s. There's nothing wrong with that as long as it's clean. So I pulled back the covers, and it's not that they didn't look washed. It's just that there were some things in the blankets I didn't like. So they probably washed the sheets, but not the blankets. God knows how many times. I need to handle this. My husband goes into the bathroom and he's like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep here. There's a drippy faucet. And he has plumbing experience. This is, kind of what he did for years. And then he's like, so he uses the bathroom and he's like, the toilet just keeps on running. I'm going to have to disconnect the toilet. And I open up, I'm like, okay, we'll be safe if there's a Gideon's Bible in here. So I open up the drawer and there's a Gideon's Bible in there, and I was expecting food, dried up food, No, there was a Gideon's Bible, and I'm like, okay, it can't be that bad. All right, we'll make do. We will make do. So we take off for the day and do our stuff. And, we had lunch. We took off for the rest of the day. We come back, and I said to the kids, get changed. We're going to go in the pool. And it was kind of like getting dark out. And I think we had gone to play mini golf, and it was kind of like getting dark out. But it said that the pool was open until midnight. So we're on vacation, and it was lit up. And I says to the kids, okay, go get your bathing suits on, get your towels. We'll go out to the pool. And as they're getting dressed, I noticed that there was some really loud music. You know how, like, you don't notice it at first because you're busy, and with a lot of chatter, you don't notice these things at first. And then I'm like, where is that music coming from? So I go out back. I said to my husband, where is that music coming from? Like, it's really loud. And I hear a lot of people. And it feels like it's like next door. And so he goes out there and he checks and he walks into this building which is attached, and it was a bar. And there were people exiting and entering the bar. And I was like, you got to be shitting me. I mean, really. I can't let my kids go out to that pool by themselves. Like the 13-year-old, my kids, I taught them how to swim when they were babies. And I'm not going to let my, older kids go out there and swim alone. And, of course I would go out and check on them, but I didn't want to have to go out there every 5 minutes. All they were going to do was go down the slide and then swim across and go down the slide. I knew my kids. So I'm like, well, it looks like we're going to be going out there because I didn't want any of my kids to be abducted. So looks like we're going to go out there and we're going to sit and go in the pool with the kids. So we all go out there. The water was clean. It was very nice. It was cool. It wasn't heated. And I looked down into the pool because there were lights all around the inside of the pool. And I'm like, what is that at the bottom of the pool? And I got way down and I looked as close as I could, and they were earthworms. Earthworms had made their way up out of the ground. There was water, and they crawled and they snuck in and down they went. I mean, the whole deep end bottom floor was covered in earthworms. They were dead, of course. And I looked at the kids and I said, well, we're used to swimming in ponds and lakes. God only knows what's in there. Eels, maybe, snakes. So we're just going to do this. So we swam with the kids. We got back in and I decided, I don't know if I can sleep in this bed. So I had brought extra towels. We put extra towels on our pillowcases, like one across the two for my husband and I. And the kids in the bed they were sleeping in, I just took off one of the blankets and let them sleep in there. And I figured we'll all take showers. And then I used another towel for us to sleep in. And I took one of the blankets off the bed. And the next morning we woke up and we were like, yeah, we're not staying here. And we told them that we wanted to stay there for 3 nights. And my husband paid, for 3 nights. But he went back in the morning and said that we had an emergency and we had to leave and could we get a refund? And they gave us a refund. And we went looking for another motel to stay in. It was just one of those memories that, it's embedded in your brain. And we had a nickname for this place. And I'm not going to mention the name of the place, but we named it the Hell Winds. The Hell Winds. So anytime we would talk about it, I had to ask my daughter, do you remember what the name of that hotel was? And then I had to ask my daughter, my husband, what was the nickname of that place? And he said, the Hell Winds. It was a nightmare. So, word to the wise, book your place to stay on 4th of July weekend way ahead of time. And even that isn't a guarantee. I have another story I will tell you, but I'm not going to tell you it today. I haven't even brushed my hair. I literally got up, threw my clothes on, did my makeup. All right, let's see. What can I put on for lipstick? I'm going to put on this purple lipstick.
Oh.
All right, I messed up right here, see? So I have no choice.
Oh.
There's a trick to doing your lipstick so that your mouth doesn't look turned down. I would do that if I was going someplace special. I would definitely do that. Okay, my friends, I am going off. I did a very smoky eye look today, kind of like grunge. I don't know. I think like I've listened to some YouTubers talk about their idea of grunge, but I remember the 80s, and I remember what grunge makeup looked like. You know, grungy eye, like my mascara is really chunky. I tight lined. I used a dark gray eyeshadow. I'm not going to get into what I use because I gotta go. I gotta go. You spray this in. I'm going to be late. But that's okay. I mean, late. There's really no such thing, but not with my job. The job is going to get done. And then I'm off to another one on a small mountain. Some of my jobs, it's really amazing. The scenery is so gorgeous that, and when nobody's home, like if it's a summer home, I just kind of like take breaks and I stand and I absorb. I don't have an elastic. I do not have an elastic. Daniel is traveling tonight on a plane. I can see the red tail lights heading for Spain, yeah, now and I can see Daniel waving goodbye. God, it looks like Daniel must be the cloud in my eyes. Oh, Daniel, my brother, you are older than me. Do you still feel the pain of the scars that won't heal? Your eyes have died, but you see more than I. Okay, everybody, I gotta go. Now won't you come along with me? Okay, everybody, I gotta go. Now won't you come along with me? Doo-dum, doo-dum, doo-doo-doo. Down the Mississippi. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. We'll take a boat to the land of dreams, sail down the river down to New Orleans. Oh, the band is there to greet us. Da-dum, ba-dum, ba-ba-da. Our friends will greet us. Do-do-do-do-do-do. We'll see the folk on Basin Street, and I forgot the words, but it is so good to meet. Yeah. Until next time, everybody, Teddy and I, we say bye-bye, and we love ya.